day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I'm still waiting for it to post. There it is. All right, now I can share it. It's a reason. Oh, I'm live, huh? I forget sometimes, and I just start singing. You know, it's an Oleander song. Oleander. They were a band in the '90s. They were like 19, 16, and 14. They were brothers. Really good band, man. Some of these bands when they were younger, I can't believe some of the lyrics they come up with, like Ed Kowalczyk, man. Ed Kowalczyk. Wow, he wrote Lightning Crash when he was 19 years old. Or 20, something like that. But he was very, very young. He was very, very young. I don't know who else to share this to. I mean, everybody's busy. Yeah, I don't know. Oh man, today's just an I don't know day. I'm doing the best that I can. I don't even know what kind of mood I'm necessarily in. I'm tired. Tired. What's up now? All my cats have been acting weird. All of you. Let me guess. You want the window open? Yeah, you want the window open. Okay. All right, let's get it. There you go. Cats don't love you. They just want something. So, I mean, cats show love in a much different way, but you got to earn trust and respect for a cat's gonna just got fucking handed to you, you know. So, but today we're going to the reflection. I tried earlier, and I know that I can be good at that stuff sometimes, but I think I was pushing something that wasn't my lane, and yeah. I don't know. It's somebody important in my life is hurting, and you know, and I feel bad for being in a decent mood because they're not, and I know I have codependency issues. Yeah, so um, so let's go ahead and kind of get started. I'd like it if some people were here. Um, I don't know what happened, but I'm just not. I think it's just timing. Um, I don't know. Ever since I went to doing it consistently at 11, it bottomed out on me. Every time I try and get consistent with this, it just bottoms out. It just does. I don't know why. I think the Daily Trudge needs to be done on an intuition basis. When I try and do it any other way, it fucks up. It fucks up. So I'm not sure what to do. At the same time, I got better things I have to do. We're working on the process for getting people's jobs now, and yeah, I'm wasting time for people to get here. So all right, I'm done wasting time. Let's go ahead. Let's get started. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Deanne. I think I got 8 days left on my Facebook restriction. If you're here, please say hello. Whether you're watching the live or the rewatch, let's find. I'm gonna find out here real quick how many days I have left. It doesn't take very long because I just hit the go live. Yeah, 8 days. So you're not allowed to end. Yeah. So it is what it is at this point. You know, I've been waiting just as long for my new cat box. And I didn't think I was gonna get it, but it's shipped. But it's like shipped and tracking through this thing called letter tracking, which is real weird. Um, so yeah, I've been waiting on that. Hey, Daryl, I haven't even really gotten started. I've just been sitting here yakking to myself. So good to have you.
Good to be had.
So, um, but this is the daily reflection, which is also going to lead us into a grapevine reading. But of course, I also thought about pulling out the big book to page 417, 420, depending on what big book you have. Um, acceptance is the answer. So I think we're going to start with As Bill Sees It first and see what he had to say about freedom through acceptance. We admitted we couldn't lick alcohol with our own remaining resources. And so we accepted the further fact that dependence upon a higher power, if only our AA group could do this hereto an impossible job. The moment we were able to accept these facts fully, our release from alcohol compulsion had begun. Um, the release of the compulsion of alcohol, man. You know, Dr. Bob, it took years. What do you say? It took him like 2.5 years.
Something like that.
Yeah, for some people, it's going to differ. And time is certainly a factor in this one. Why it was that way for Dr. Bob, I have no idea. Um, only him and God know that. But, um, I can't really tell you the moment. I was on the phone with the big book. Yay! Hi, Amber. Good to see you. It really is. It really is. Um, but I do remember that one day I walked over to 7-Eleven to get my big gulp for the day because I used to get like a really, the big, I had like that big jug. And I went to 7-Eleven and came back. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even I didn't even think about the alcohol. I did because I have to walk by a liquor store. I'm like, I didn't even think about it. And I didn't know how long it had been, the obsession had been gone. I'd been sober for several months and been working the program, but I felt almost an instant relief that something had happened to me, that God was doing for me what I couldn't do for myself, keep me sober. On my own volition, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Cannot comment.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. My brain just spoke out loud.
Oh, no
I was
worries.
gonna respond to Amber,
Yeah, do it. Yeah. This, half
but
the show
I
is just
can't
people
type in
responding.
there. I can't comment. Anyway, just basically, I was gonna laugh at what she said.
Yeah, about the, yeah.
Because me and autocorrect have this illicit love affair that is continuously going on.
I swear to God, I never say duck. I promise you, I'm
Right.
not saying duck.
Shit like that.
Um, that yeah, there's definitely entertainment here. We talk about hard things, so having fun is kind of imperative because we need to laugh at ourselves. We need to be able to do, we can come on here and be wrong. That's all right. I'm wrong quite often, and it's just a matter of doing it right. So my brain is I'm trying today. That's what I'm doing. So I just feel a lot of emotions from a lot of different people today. So that's why it's kind of hard. I'm trying to have some boundaries, but it's not working. So it's just, back to basics today for me. So nothing wrong with that either. Um, for most of us, this pair of acceptance had required a lot of exertion to achieve. Our whole treasured philosophy of self-sufficiency had to be cast aside. This had not been done with sheer willpower. It came instead as the result of developing the willingness to accept these new facts of living. We neither ran nor fought, but accept we did. Wow, that almost felt like Yoda. Neither fought nor ran, but accept we did. That was a horrible impression, by the way. And then we began to be free.
But get it, I do.
Mm. You know who does a great Yoda? Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill actually does a lot of voiceovers. He does a ton of voiceovers. Anyway, so I'm no longer running. I'm not fighting, but I accept a lot of things in my life. Like I've had to accept some things today, for being what they are. But when I came to the program, I mean, I had a couple of choices. It was an all or nothing kind of thing. Not everything in my life was horrible, yet my life was very unmanageable in every area, whether it was physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. It was a mess. Um, so to think that there was one area of my life that I could hold on to was no, and I had willpower with drugs and things like that, but it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. I had to give up everything. And there was freedom on the other side. There's freedom. Every now and then you'll probably hear blank spots because I'm giving Daryl a chance to talk. If you want, how you
I'm
guys
just
do.
brain's kind of all over the place. It was like I had some positive things going on as well.
Yeah.
I call them my potential disasters because my history was to eventually bring that all crashing around my ears. But yeah, acceptance. I I was not an accepting individual. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I was pretty close minded to everything.
Well, if it went anywhere, shape, or form against the grain of my thought process, you were fucking wrong.
That's right. Yeah.
Period. The end.
hmm Because I'm a man.
Well, I don't know
I
what the
know.
fuck
Yeah.
it was, but I was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm a,
Well,
I'm a, I'm a
anytime I
man,
said
and I'll
that, I
show
was
you, and I'm a short man, and I will definitely show you.
see, I was small, but I have this loud voice, and I don't know why it carries power.
Well, and I don't necessarily do, but I am told that my voice carries.
It does. You have a good, solid speaking voice. I very much like when you came and spoke at the church. I very much enjoyed it. You're a very good speaker, Daryl, which is one reason why I think this is starting to work. I mean, in the beginning, we're finding our way, but it's a matter of going back and forth. And I
I've,
like the new experience here because
I,
it's
I've
reminding me
always
of more
I've
stuff.
always had that in both Carnegie and Toastmasters, just in enhanced that
Yeah,
ability.
yeah. We're asked to be MCs a lot. Yeah,
True.
yeah. I've been asked to officiate weddings. I've been asked to. It's just because I'm a very solid speaker. Daryl kind of looks like my father-in-law. He's kind of short too. Also rides his motorcycle. So I remind her of her uncle, who was apparently very good-looking. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. I'm gonna go to the big
That's
book.
why we're family.
It is, yeah. Uh, Amber's like a daughter to me, and I've told her that, and I'll tell anybody that. You fuck with Amber, you're probably gonna tick. You're gonna tick me off, even if she's wrong. Even if I'm wrong. Oh, okay. Oh, but your stepdad, that's what it was. Yes. Okay. Oh, I love Virgos. I love Virgos. All right. So I'm going to start on 416. At last, acceptance proved to be the key to my drinking problem. So when my mom worked, ah, it's like everybody's a Virgo. um, so my mom, she worked at Arapahoe House Detox off uh, at Bannock down by the old Cinderella City Mall. And they had this stray cat that was there, and they named it Acceptance. And what I loved about this idea, and I actually want to do this for the Hayworth house too, is get a cat, name it Acceptance, so that when you're off key, you've got to go find some acceptance, and it puts some action into acceptance. And I loved it. So if you were off kilter, they'd say, go find some acceptance. So, which was the cat. Um, After I've been around AA for 7 months, tapering off alcohol and pills, not finding the program working very well, I was finally able to say, okay, God, it is true that I, of all people, strange as it may seem, and even though I did not give my permission, really, really am an alcoholic of sorts, and it's all right with me. This next line is the part that I really like, though. Now, what am I going to do about it? And a lot of times we go to meetings and stuff and we don't talk about that part. Acceptance is the process to action, to good action. Um, so yeah, I already know. Oh, and he's back. All right. That's what we call getting a phone call sometimes or sending
Sorry.
a picture. That's why you were doing that. Okay. When
This
I
is a
stopped
cat
living
lady.
I'm
Amber.
sorry.
Oh, Amber just putting something up there. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
interrupted.
you now live next to a cat lady. Well, she just moved. She kind of moved out east. Got a little bit of land. I'm very happy for you. You're gonna have a shit ton of cats out there, which you'll love, which you'll love. When I stopped living in the problem and began living in the answer, the problem went away. From that moment on, I have not had a single compulsion to drink. Um, yeah, because now I want to talk about cats. So, orange cats are the best. They're the
I have
weirdest.
one of those and I have a calico, so that's enough.
I've I've got them all. So this is a cat house.
You have a zoo.
I have 8 cats.
A
Well, I
zoo
don't
of
cat
zoo of
cat
cats.
house.
I'm glad we're not discussing cats though.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we're like, okay, and acceptance, yeah. But the moment that this person decided to live in the solution, the problem went away. And for me, that works real well with working on our spiritual malady first. And I found that when we work on our spiritual malady first, we have a much better chance. Now, I want to bring a little something up. Do you need a roof over your head? Do you need all these different things? No, you don't. But if you put a roof over somebody's head, their odds go up. So why not try? I'm a housing first person. I don't see putting a roof over somebody's head as a demand. I find it kind of a requirement. It's just, and that's personal. And I've met plenty of people that live in their cars, that live on the streets, that are
That's
sober and go to AA meetings.
I just left my mechanic a message because of Lynn's email.
Okay.
Um, and he is living in his car at the moment.
Well,
We don't have a place, but what we do is we have the ability to help him anyway.
yeah. You know, um, and that required
We can
acceptance
we can
too.
teach him how to fish.
So I love the fish story. So, yes, I've got this weird thought process. So what I do is I give a man a fish while I'm teaching him how to fish.
Right.
Yeah. And that's AA. So the fact that we can only do one or the other keeps me in that box.
Well,
And
some things just take longer to develop. But if I fill his belly, he's going to be more receptive to other things too.
you bet, when you don't have to worry about where you're going to eat and where you're going to sleep, it's a lot easier to do recovery. It is. And I know this
It is,
because I've been
absolutely
through it.
is.
Yeah. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah. See, Amber? Now,
Exactly,
Amber
Amber.
has the skill. Yeah. I had to get my driver's license back. I can't have a bank account. So I know how to help people with that. That's recovery. And that's what a recovery coach is supposed to do. So when we go around and doing it for free, they get a little. There's some great people out there. I'm done bashing on other people, so I apologize. Um, and acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. I know. All my problems, yeah, all your problems, because you gotta. The only way you're going to be able to deal with your problems is by being aware of it first. Knowing is half the battle.
That passage, I've told you this before. I never paid attention to it because it wasn't in the first 164.
Agreed. Yeah,
But
that I get.
but my everybody and their brother, I used to like when somebody would start reading that, I would go, oh, fuck,
Yeah.
like shit. But and of course my sponsor drilled that into me about accepting. And then I actually sat down and I read that.
Mm-hmm.
And within that, there's a term that says accepting things for as they are at this moment.
Yes.
What that did was open that door a crack to allow me to go, oh, that's subject to change.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it can change.
Yeah. That life's going to be different in 5 minutes.
That and learning that accepting didn't mean approval.
That's correct. Acceptance is just part. It's just the
It
first step
is.
in the process. Is all
This
it is.
this thing is made out of glass. Ain't nothing I can do about it.
That's right. Well, you throw it on the floor and destroy it.
It's subject to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be a
Uh,
broken glass.
so what I'm hearing you say was when you read that, it said, "Oh, wait a minute. Now acceptance doesn't mean that I allow other people to step on me and all these other things. That's not what that means." Um, it's just the start of, it's step one again. But in any problem that we have, whether it be depression, anger, loneliness, all these different things, being aware of it first is always the first step.
It's another it's
Cognitive
another
behavioral therapy.
it's another appendix entry into um, powerlessness.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
What I
it's,
can and cannot control.
yeah. And acceptance is one of those things where it's indispensable. And just like willingness and honesty and open mindedness is going to change as there we are, subject
Evolve.
to change again.
If you
Right.
work this program, you're going to evolve.
Yeah, absolutely. When I'm disturbed is because I find some person, place, or thing or situation, some fact of my life unacceptable to me, and I can find no serenity until I accept that person, place, thing, or situation as being exactly the way it's supposed to be at this moment. That's what you
There
were
it
talking
is.
about.
There it is.
Yeah. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Right. Um, so when I'm arguing, I'm saying God's world is imperfect. That's what I'm doing. When I say why, I'm
Well,
arguing with
it is.
God. Yeah. You know, um, and that leads me back to what is acceptance? With people, it's unconditional love.
God's world is absolutely perfect the way He created it. He
Mm-hmm.
just, I think he erroneously added personalities to it.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Amber. Very good. Yeah, because what is happening at that moment is fact. There is, in fact,
Period.
there is no other fact than what is going on right now at 2:01 p.m. Everything else is a what if. So, good stuff, man. Um, until I could accept my alcoholism, I couldn't stay sober. Unless I could accept my life completely on life's terms, I cannot be happy. I need to concentrate not so much on what needs to be changed in the world as what needs to be changed in me and my attitudes. We kind of went through this just a minute ago with somebody writing stuff on Facebook, and we had a discussion and we got through it like a couple of adults, and we came out the other side more knowledgeable.
Well,
You know,
that's one on my part. On that part, um, I didn't realize how that thread works, type of deal, and I didn't realize how that might impact you, and type of thing. But and you brought that to my attention. It was like, yeah, that makes sense. Here, let me fix that.
we, we all make mistakes. You don't have to be a dick.
You smart man.
you know, Oh, I didn't mean it. Yeah, sorry. It wasn't a reference that my wife, my that was just a coincidence. It was not intentional. My wife said something to me once. She said, "If you love somebody, why would you be mad at them?" And it just made a lot of sense to me. My wife and I, and we do argue and it's always about the kids, but maybe once a year. We don't argue. We just
Yeah,
we,
actually, and I have never had a huge blowout. We've had misunderstandings,
sure.
but then, like you and I do, we talk about it. I may let it sit for a minute because that's how I process.
Gotta. Yeah.
Um, I mean, I used to like go to fisticuffs immediately, type of deal. Um, Now I'll actually walk away,
Yeah.
which tend to piss exes off. It's like you don't understand. If you press this right this very second, you're not going to get the response that you're going to like.
Yeah.
And it'll be inappropriate, I promise you.
Yeah.
So if you give me a moment to fucking breathe,
Yeah.
type of scenario.
Yeah.
So and Ash and I have become very adept at communicating.
Yeah. And it
It's
takes
it's
practice. It
it
takes
took
you're gonna
years of
you're gonna butt
practice.
heads, but there comes a rhythm kind of to it.
Well, being
Like
able
in
to
the beginning,
recognize what's going on is was huge.
yeah. But like in the beginning, because I have this fear of abandonment. And so in the beginning, it was,
Oh,
hey, I need a few minutes. I'm just walking away for a minute. I'm not leaving. I'm not, I need a few minutes. Now it's like, okay, you need a few minutes, don't you? I'm like, yeah, you know, but so the rules are you don't leave. You don't go stomping off without being anywhere, because as an alcoholic and,
right.
I'll
Which
just
was
walk away and nobody will know
that
where I'm at and I've got to be accountable.
that used to be my SOP.
Yeah. You know,
Well, a transition from blowing up and blah 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 and all that other stuff instantaneously to leaving,
yeah.
and then that evolved into
Yeah. Well, all you need to say is, and you can even say it, man, I'm going around the block. That's it. I'm not going anywhere. Um, our couples therapist recently put us every other week. Yeah, progress. Yesterday, she said if things continue to go,
progress.
we should be down to once a month. That's so. I'm very proud of you both. I'm very proud of you both because it's not easy for him either. being being married to an alcoholic is not easy, right? It means you're worth something. I think that's fucking beautiful. I think that's beautiful. All right. Thank you. We got tools. I like it. Progress, bitches. We got tools. Oh, all right. Let's do the reading out of here, and we'll go ahead and start to wrap up. Ah, freedom came to me only with my acceptance that I could turn my will and my life over to the care of my higher power, whom I call God. Serenity seeped into chaos of my life when I accepted that what I was going through was life, and that God would help me through my difficulties and much more as well. Since then, He has helped me through all of my difficulties. When I accept situations as they are, not as I wish them to be, then I begin to grow and have serenity and peace of mind. Um, yeah, it's that whole fighting, trying to control the world. Um, Amber has been around me for a while. I have this thing about AA that we close with the Lord's Prayer. I'm old fashioned. I don't care.
I'm that way. That's how
Yeah,
I grew up.
yeah. So I'm very big on the Lord. Yes, and I may go out with the Lord's Prayer forever and ever and ever.
Well, it kind of bugs me when other groups don't do that,
Or they go out with the we version of the Serenity Prayer with
or they go out with like the one I was just in, where they
a
do
responsibility statement.
responsibility statement. It's
Yeah,
like,
which
no,
is not a
Lord's
prayer. This is
Prayer,
a statement.
and you fucking hold hands, or you go arm in arm.
Yeah. Actually, while they're doing that, I say the Serenity Prayer because it still kind of matches. Yeah, the way it kind of felt that way, huh, Amber? So, um, I mean, what else can we really say on acceptance? I mean, um,
You
I
just have to
there's
learn it, man. It's again, I'm of the educational variety, and it doesn't matter what the subject matter is.
hmm
It's like I had to learn. The biggest thing I had to learn was acceptance wasn't approval,
yeah, that's right.
and as forgiveness too is
Yeah,
the same.
yeah,
Forgiveness is totally selfish to me. It allows me to move on,
hmm
and it doesn't mean that, oh, it's okay that you stepped on my toe. No, it's fucking not okay. But I'm going to forgive you and how I feel about you because of that,
hmm
and then put that in the memory banks, and don't go there with that person again.
yeah. And what that did was acceptance brought unconditional love so that you could do principles before personalities, and
All of
it,
those things are so intertwined. I
I,
mean,
yeah,
they're just like a zipper.
yeah, that's the thing is you can take two topics from AA and they match. Doesn't matter
Well,
what the topics are. That's why
and
you go to a meeting, you always hear what you need to because it's all tied together. You're going to hear exactly what you need to because it's the repetitiveness. We just say it different ways. Some people use awareness. There's 100 different forms of saying acceptance.
or Howie Mandel, Amber.
Yep, yep. Howie Mandel. Speaking of Howie Mandel, do you remember his he had a cartoon called Bobby's World?
Yeah.
I've always got to take a drink before this one. Hi, my name is Bobby, and every time my mommy put me on the potty, I cry. Well, there you go. All right.
He still does that voice every now and then.
He does, and I'm still a little off.
He does it
There's
on
this one
AGT
little
every now and
pinch in
then.
there I can't get. I love Howie Mandel. I love Howie Mandel. So, um, all right.
Him and Bob Goldthwait remind me
Oh
of the same
God.
person.
Now Bob Goldthwait, he passed, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, he died.
But I
Horrible.
always remember him in his yellow fucking rain gear,
Uh, uh. So these people had so much energy. You know they were on cocaine. You know they were.
Robin Williams, all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Who was the watermelon smasher?
Gallagher.
Same death.
Yeah. Now, because I do want to give a little bit of something to Robin. Robin died with well over 20 years sober, I believe.
Oh, you're
I don't
right.
know.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree. But he was still, I would, I
The
swear to God, he also did, he was
yeah,
a tweaker,
yeah, he was a yeah, he
but
was.
he certainly was cocaine addict.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But
Uh,
yeah, that part of his personality didn't leave with the drugs.
no, no, it didn't. He still had that fun part about him.
Well,
He
yeah,
did things
and
a little differently. He would hire homeless people when he did movies.
yes,
He did a lot of different
I
stuff.
think he had a number two. I think it was a dozen or something like that was required within his contract.
Yeah, and he took a pay cut because of it too. Yeah,
Right.
good point, Amber. Very good point. We are talking about the isms. You're
Ism.
absolutely correct. Yeah, I self me's.
I self need.
All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great
Peace, love,
day.
hope.
I love ya.
Love you, bro.
Peace out.
Love you, Amber. Bye.